We could say that the White Scars are one of those Space Marine chapters that do a perfect job of creating a theme for their legion. They embody the ancient warriors of the Mongol Empire that battled on horseback, conquering the enemies with their lightning-fast assault and disciplined ferocity. The nature-driven traditions of these people are best displayed by the warrior psychers of the chapter known as Stormseers. And that's what we're going to talk about today, but before we get into that, I want to welcome you guys back to another episode of 40 Facts About the 40K Universe. If you're new to the channel, allow me to introduce myself. I am your host, Gersh1, your guide through the mystical and grimdark legends of Warhammer 40K. If you enjoy Space Marine lore and want to learn more about the Space Marines, please subscribe to the channel. And if you would like me to continue this faction-focused theme for the channel, ride your attack bike over the like button. It tells YouTube you want to see more 40k content on your feed, and it also helps this video reach a wider audience. But with all that said, let's get into 40 facts and lore on the White Scar Stormseers. A White Scar Stormseer performs the same battlefield role as any other librarian from amongst the other Space Marine chapters, but as an Astartes, the Stormseer is one of the most potent psychers of all mankind, capable of manipulating the etheric powers of the warp at the same level as a sanctioned Primaris psyker. They can stand toe-to-toe with almost any greater demon and are the primary defense against the swarms of demonic entities that prey on humanity. The true origin of this mystical brotherhood stretches as far back as the Age of Strife, before the Primarch Jagatai Khan stepped foot on the planet of Cho'Garis. These warrior mystics protected and guided the nomadic tribes for thousands of years until the Great Khan united his people and was recovered by the Emperor of Mankind. Once aware of his true heritage and of the Great Crusade, Jagatai Khan inducted the Stormseers into his legion and made them the masters of the psychic disciplines for the White Scars. From then on, the Stormseers have been called upon to continue the induction of neophytes into the ranks of the chapter, using their incredible powers of prognostication to elevate the worthy from the Cho'Garis stock. Every 10 local summers, the Stormseers venture down into the steppes to observe the tribes in their battles, picking only the best and the bravest warriors and returning them to their fortress monastery of Quanzhou. There they become aspirants of the chapter. And to ensure that the people of Cho'Garis stay worthy of becoming Space Marines, the chapter allows the tribe to war amongst each other, although they are very vigilant that such feuds are not retained as aspirants become neophytes and as neophytes transition into initiates. Another manner in which the aspirants are chosen is by way of the tradition of youngsters entering the mountains to pay homage to a tomb of a fallen White Scar. The pyre tombs of fallen White Scars in the Kumkarta, which means the mountains that scrape the stars, are places of great pilgrimage for the young tribal warriors, and those that survive the journey through one of the most dangerous valleys are considered especially courageous. Such pilgrimages are perilous in the extreme, and simply surviving one is a great deed in and itself. If the pilgrim is deemed worthy, then he is granted a place in the ranks of the aspirants, but it's up to the Stormseer to decide. Another major task is when a Great Khan is lost in the field of battle, it is the Stormseers who are called upon to decide who his successor will be to lead the chapter. The Stormseers will then retreat to the caves of the steep peaks of the Kumkarta Mountains. There, Brotherhood Khans, in other words company captains, present themselves to be tested and scrutinized by the Stormseers. The trials used by the Stormseers to discover who the next Great Khan will be are unknown. Few candidates survive the arduous process, and those that do never speak of the trials that they endured to become the next Great Khan of the chapter. Now, at some point in his life, every White Scar must face and master the full implication of his own power. The wildness within, when combined with a potency granted by the Space Marines' genetically enhanced physiology, is a fearsome weapon, and one that can be as harmful to the subjects as its enemies. Each time he draws upon his ferociousness in the heat of battle, the White Scar takes a step closer to the precipice, beyond which lies the damnation of bloodlust and killing for the sheer pleasure of it. Worse, the line is invisible until almost crossed, and so the battle brother must exercise prodigious willpower not to exceed it inadvertently, while the vast majority recognize the line when it finally becomes visible, and in doing so, gain unprecedented mastery of themselves. Some don't. Of these the White Scars never speak of, and their names are hewn from the tablets for all time. It is one of the tasks of the Stormseers to guide their battle brothers in this journey, whatever its destination. The other responsibility of the Stormseer include teaching White Scar aspirants the core beliefs of their chapter. They firmly believe it is the manifest duty of the White Scars to destroy the enemies of the Imperium, awaiting the day that the Emperor will rise again, signaling the return of their lost Primarch and the beginning of the next great crusade to unify all of humanity. They also believe that their powers are connected to the animalistic spirits of the land and the air, and that as long as these natural forces fight beside them, the White Scars will always be victorious. These elemental, animalistic beliefs and the highly stylized force staff used by the Stormseers tie these warrior mystics to their shamanistic past of the steppes of Chagoris. Due to their innate ability, Stormseers possess a number of unique psychic powers that standard chapter librarians do not. These powers are psychic as well as elemental in nature. Stormseers have the ability to call upon the spirits of their ancient land and manifest fragments of the harsh steppes of Chagoris. The planet's extreme climate shifts are summoned around the warrior mystics, completely disorienting the enemy but allowing the White Scars to fight on their own turf. The chapter's lightning-fast approach to war manifests itself through the Stormseers in the form of force lightning that comes crashing down from the skies above, similar to the lightning showers on the plains of Chagoris. The enemy is almost always unprepared by the hail of powerful warp energy coming down on them, known as storm lances. And when the hordes of the Emperor's foes are close to overwhelming the White Scars, the Stormseer can call upon the howling winds of the Chagorian steppes, driving off the stampeding hordes and allowing the Space Marines to pick off the scattered enemy. When Stormseers can focus their psychic might, they can reach deep into the legacy of Jagatai Khan and bring forth the legendary swiftness and the ferociousness of the White Scars Primarch, enchanting a battle brother with the speed and strength of their father. And to aid them in channeling their psychic might, the Stormseer uses a force staff, a powerful tool crafted from the wood taken from the trees on Chagoris that was raised in the soil near the Kumkarta Mountains. Carved with protective sigils and canticles of banishment, the weapon affords excellent protection against the powers of the warp. These staffs are highly prized treasures which gradually absorb the psychic imprint of their owner, becoming more closely tailored to the Stormseer's mind. It is said that if a Stormseer lives to a great age, his staff becomes a living part of him, and that after his death, the staff lives on, preserving something of its former master's thoughts and powers. In this way, the Stormseer lives on forever. As psychic warriors, deeply ingrained with the mystical traditions of their homeworld of Chagoris, the Stormseers are some of the most dangerous and powerful librarians of any Space Marine chapter. And that's the lore on the White Scar Stormseer. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Now, I had a question for you guys. How would you guys like it if, instead of doing like a month of a certain faction, I would do like a week of a certain unique, in this case, it would be chapter. So like focus this entire week on the White Scars and just create as much White Scars lore as I can. So probably like 5 or 6 videos. And then moving on to the next week, I'll do like another Space Marine chapter that you guys vote on. And then just going like that for the month of February. I think I want to try that out. We're going to start with the White Scars just because, you know, this is really cool and interesting chapter that needs more attention. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like I said, if you guys have suggestions for what I should cover next week, like what chapter, comment down in the comment section below. I appreciate you guys liking, commenting, all the support. If you guys want to support us some more, we do have a Patreon link down in the description below. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. This was Gersh1 with One Mind Syndicate signing out.
Always used to put my freedom first in any situation.